Hey everybody, this is Mickey with My Life Out Loud with Mickey coming to you with another video. So, God was sharing something with me as I was driving, so I want to get on here and share it with you. He was basically, it's a song he gave me. Let me stay focused. So it was a song he gave me called You Gotta Know When to Hold 'Em and Know When to Fold 'Em. I guess it's an old song, and I don't know, it hit my spirit like a little while back. And then next thing you know, it's like when I'm in times of like, it seems like in the mornings, you know how much pressure you have in the mornings. Like that's when all the pressure is applied. That's why it's good to wake up and pray early in the morning. That way you can move the mountains out your way for the day. You can tell God to give you your portion for today. You can put everything in his hands, lay everything at his feet, have him make your crooked path straight. But it doesn't mean that when you get outside and you start driving and you get on that road that there won't be challenges. It don't mean when you get to work or wherever you're going for that day that there won't be challenges or something to try to get in your way to distract you, right? So I feel like it's a lyrical message and I probably have to come back and break it down a little bit more. But the words go kind of like, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money sitting at the table. There'll be time for counting when the deal is done. So just that little part blessed me because, as you know, as children of God, we have discernment and we have gifts. So when people see worldly music, we see revelation or a rhema word or something that shifts, gives us that shift that we need. So in that word, you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. The revelation to that for me was when you're in a situation throughout the day, on the road, cars jumping in your way, people jumping in your way at work, whatever it means is that you got to know when to hold. You got to know when to hold back, let go, and let God. And you got to know when to fold, meaning don't hold on to it. Don't take it with you for the rest of the day. Leave it right there where it's at. Because if you allow that thing to follow you, then the next thing follow you. Just take the vision I'm getting is like as you walk in, you got all of this stuff following you. The argument with this person that you may have had. The person that was on the road that almost ran you off the road. All this stuff is following you all day, just behind you. Just imagine these things are behind you, breathing down your neck all day long. Because in that very moment, you got to know when to hold back. And then you got to know when to fold and leave it where it's at, right? And so what you're doing that, you can't take it with you. It's not even allowed to follow you because you've already dismissed it. You have already rebuked it. You've already basically canceled it, sent it back to where it came from. Distraction no good, trick no good, devil. Get behind me, Satan. You know, so when you do that, you're not taking it with you. And then you reset in that moment. I don't know who this is for, but it's for somebody. But you got to reset in that moment. You can't take it with you. You can't get to work and tell somebody, you know what this, because now you took it with you and you spoke it back into existence. So you have to just be able in that very moment to just be like, it's not worth my time. It's not worth taking it with me. I don't care what it is. Because even if people are not moved by, slight distractions or small distractions, it could be somebody call you on the phone that you know, that you love, that you care about. And they can be, the devil could use them too, because he always use the people that's closest. But you got to know when to hold. You got to know when to be like, you know what, let me call you back. Let me call you right back. Somebody calling me on the other line, so that way you can protecting your peace. It's all about peace. I tell people that all the time. People don't understand. That's your most valuable player is your peace. Okay? So you got to know when to hold. You got to know when to fold. Now you got to know when to walk away and you got to know when to run. I'm sure somebody is already catching this in the spirit. So you got to know when let me just walk away. All right? Let me just walk away. Let me go lay this at God's feet, or let me just walk away and do something else, because it's almost like I don't know, but I can remember if you get a cut on your arm or something hurt, and then somebody punch you somewhere else, they be like, well, you still feel the other pain? Nah, you don't feel the other pain no more because now you're concentrating on this pain, right? So what I'm trying to say is that when you walk away, you're not thinking about what just happened because you start moving on to something else. You start doing something different. You're moving around now. You're not trying to worry about what just happened over there because now you're moving on mentally. You're not grabbing anything mentally, as far as emotionally, emotional, because your mental emotions is what makes, you carry these unnecessary things throughout the day. So now you got to know when to walk away, right? You got to know when to walk away. Even if you can't walk out the room physically, you got to know when to walk away from certain things in your mind, not to entertain certain things in your head. This goes so many different ways. You just got to catch it in the spirit for yourself. But if it go it's all of the above for me. So I got to know when to walk away from situations. I got to know when to walk away in my mind. It all plays together, you know. One sound, one band. One band, one sound, right? So then, okay, you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. Meaning, you got to know when it's like, it's done. You can't get as far away from that situation as possible and leave it there. Don't return to that. When you got to run away from something, don't return to that. Now, if it's work and it's a tight spot and you just got to get away real fast, then that's fine. Lay it at God's feet. Don't take it with you to the next day. You don't take nothing into the next day, because that's how it starts to build up on you, and that's how the enemy is able to use things against you, because you're taking your yesterday until tomorrow, which is not going to make sense. So you get new mercies every day, all right? So don't let the complications of yesterday ruin your today, right? So we know that. So when you're running from something, leave it there. That's definitely that. Some of the things you run from is not to return back to, okay? Now, if it's something at work and you got to just get out real fast and do what you got to do, to protect yourself. But at the end of the day going to end with the fact that you know when to hold and know when to fold, know when to walk away, and know when to run, okay? Now, the next verse of that song is, you never count your money while sitting at the table. It'll be time for counting when the deal is done, okay? So, never count your money sitting at the table, meaning that sometimes you have to count your blessings. You have to walk away from something. Count your blessings later. Because when you're sitting at the table, it might be too much going on. Everybody trying to figure out what you're doing, how you're doing it, and you got to move in silence, right? So you don't count there, you just count later. Like, all right, thank you, moving right along. You got to be moving right along every second, every minute, moving right along, okay? And then it'll be time for count when the deal is done, meaning like by the end of the day, you can go back and you can analyze your whole day, and you can look at it and you can say, okay, this is what happened today, God, blah, blah, blah. And then you just let him know where you might need help at, what you saw for yourself, because nobody's perfect. But we can strive for perfection in certain areas of our life in order to become better soldiers, okay? So now you just, you lay everything at God's feet. You count everything. You count your blessings at the end of the night. You don't got to count them sitting at the table. You don't got to it's the way you respond to things, right? So your response is your responsibility. And how you respond shows your spiritual maturity. It shows the woman in you. It shows the man in you, because you respond. Now, the way you respond to things, people can probably look at your whole life through just your response. Now, act the fool, they'll be like, okay, well, this person has been through something. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know how to respond to situations. That way, you're not unfolding your traumas and your truth to people by the way you respond. I'm trying to tell you how powerful your response is, how powerful a decision is in a split second. That's why you have to not count your cards while sitting at the table sometimes, because you might want to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in that moment. But you got to know, like, wait a minute, I got too much to lose. This is the devil trying to make me self-sabotage, trying to take something from me. I need to just walk away right now, give this to God, and, like so, what they say, like that, like so. Like that, like so. Sometimes you got to just walk away and let go and let God. And he'll take care of it. He'll fight your battles. But if you stand in front of God, then, you just got in his way. So he can't protect you if you're trying to protect yourself. He can do far greater above and beyond what you can ever imagine than what you can do. You ain't going to do nothing but get yourself all argumentative, get your energy worked up, and then have a bad day. Well, God is like, he don't even have to do nothing but just like flick a nail and unbothered, okay? So some things you just don't need to do. You count your cards sitting at the table. Your response is your responsibility. You got time for count when the deal is done. Then you're going to sit back and you're going to look and realize all the bullets that you dodged that day, all the bullets that you dodged in life, and it's going to feel good that you is not letting people in your space and trying to steal your oil, because that's all they're trying to do. They're just trying to distract you, steal your day, steal your joy, keep you from seeing the blessings of God. Because if you're too busy paying attention to this, then you ain't paying attention to that. You know what I'm saying? And what you probably need to be doing is paying attention to that. So you got to just know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Don't count your cards by sitting at the table. It'll be time for counting when the deal is done. All right? I love you guys. In Jesus' name, have a great day. Bye.